Tonight, a soldier comes home to his greatest enemy.
War doesn't give you cancer, Frank.
One woman.
Who is she?
Some lady been asking around about the spraying and now.
Two heroes who fought a faceless enemy.
You've got to make them listen, Maud.
And one.
Don't worry, baby. You're not alone anymore.
An unforgettable cast and movie, Unnatural Causes.
Coming up, Marilyn Beck talks to Sybil Shepherd about her TV comeback.
And we'll meet some future television stars at Bellville Elementary School, next on PM Magazine. It's your chance to play All-American Bingo twice a day.
You can play weekday mornings at 9 and now every weekday during Night Rider.
You can win big prizes like a trip to Disney World, New York City, and Fort Lauderdale.
Plus other great prizes like a microwave oven, wood stove, tickets for a Cincinnati Bengals game, and a whole season of Marshall basketball, plus much more.
Here's how you can win. A card and a free space number will be announced each weekday at 5 during Night Rider.
Check your card. If it matches, you win. Don't miss your chance to win twice a day with All-American Bingo.
Well, it's nice to find WVU and Marshall University on the same side in this battle.
Yes, and we're teaming up in a fight for life.
It's the great WVU Marshall Blood Donor Challenge.
And we're out for blood.
We're asking our students, fans, and alumni
to give a pint for their team.
Team up with us in the fight for life.
Give blood. Remember, everyone wins when you give blood.
Wait till you see what Thrift Drug has in store for you this Christmas. A catalog is coming your way soon. This year, make Thrift Drug your Christmas gift store.
WSAZ Television 3, Huntington, Charleston.
While Sybil Shepherd is enjoying a career high as Moonlighting's Maddie, she still has regrets from her past.
Every part I ever played.
Tonight on PM Magazine, she talks to Marilyn Beck about her mistakes, including the nude pictures that came back to haunt her.
Then we'll start a week-long visit to Hong Kong. From foods to fashion, we'll unlock the mysteries of the Orient.
And they cruise in from another time, churning up images of Mark Twain. We'll visit a river festival in Marietta, Ohio, where over a dozen sternwheelers gather to help keep the spirit of Old Man River alive.
Hi everybody, this is PM Magazine, and I'm Clark Fitzwater.
And I'm Crystal Polly. We're here in St. Albans, West Virginia, and we're at Bellville Elementary School.
And we're learning about journalism. This is the WBEL Channel 87 newscast from the past, present, and future news groups.
You're looking at some of the WBEL news product right now. These students produce a newscast every week, and everyone gets a chance to be a weather forecaster, reporter, and even camera person during that time. And you guys are doing a tremendous job. Thanks very much.
Right, wonderful. Too good a job.
We're going to see them later on in the show, of course.
That's right. And we're going to also be showing you a little bit more about this fascinating project.
Sybil Shepherd started her career at the top as a model, and then she started acting, and she was in some very, very, very forgettable films.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Like, do you remember At Long Last Love?
No.
There's a reason.
Your point
right
there. We're about to find out from PM Magazine's Marilyn Beck that Sybil has a lot more than just good looks. She's also very talented.
I said it at the time when I was doing the last picture show. I always used to say that I was started at the top and I've been working my way down ever since.
But in the last 2 years, Sybil Shepherd has made a spectacular comeback. She did start out in top in the 60s, first as a teenage model and then a movie star. But in the 70s, she became such a subject of ridicule that she left Hollywood for nearly 5 years. Now she's finding newfound popularity as the star of the hit TV series, Moonlighting.
Passion? You call hitting your wife, knocking her down the steps and burying her body in the backyard passion?
You once said that popularity was something you didn't crave when you were a teenager.
That was a lie. I wanted to win Homecoming Queen. And I wanted to win, what was the other thing I didn't get? Miss Teenage America.
Did you?
Yes, I wanted to win. And I didn't, but that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me was sort of learning to lose.
Body, 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 body. Sybil admits that success came too easily and too early for her. By the time she was 17, her face had been on the cover of Glamour magazine 12 times. In 1968, she was named Model of the Year. 2 years later, film director Peter Bogdanovich was so attracted to her girl-next-door looks that he cast her in his award-winning movie, The Last Picture Show.
Professionally, what's been the scariest moment? The first movie role?
No, I don't think so.
How was that nude scene?
Oh, it was horrible. It was just horrible.
You didn't want to do it, I remember, isn't it?
Oh, I fought and fought and fought. Did not want to do it. What I was most wanted not to happen, which was the reason I didn't want to do the nude scene, it wasn't a moral thing. It wasn't that I think the human body shouldn't be seen on the screen. It was that I just felt that somehow that photographs of this scene out of context would end up somewhere I didn't want it to.
As they did.
Which it did. Mm-hmm. Which I ended up suing Playboy for 5 years and $9 million. And I didn't get $9 million, but I did settle out of court. And in the process of my lawsuit, we worked with the Screen Actors Guild, and now it's standard in the contract that you can't publish a photograph, a nude photograph of an actor and actress without their written consent.
How wise of you to realize that what could happen to those pictures. I mean,
yeah, but I wasn't wise enough to stick by my guns and say I wouldn't do it.
Sybil starred in 2 more Bogdanovich films, Daisy Miller and At Long Last Love. Both were bombs, but Sybil continued to be his leading lady off camera.
Peter Bogdanovich has said that you took heat that you didn't deserve for the failure of some of your pictures together.
I think that there was sort of this slant in the publicity that I had caused him to...
Leave his wife.
Oh, yeah, right. Which I didn't. I mean, their relationship was having severe problems before I ever entered the scene. But what I was going to say was that I caused him to make decisions or artistic decisions that were the terrible, like on At Long Last Love. I might have been blamed a little for that. They seemed to be sacrificing a grand career for this bimbo. I don't know.
Did you feel a lot of resentment towards this town when they aimed their poison daggers at you?
It's very painful. I mean, there's no question about that. But I don't know who said it. It might have been John Ford, but the only way to win is to survive.
Survival to Sybil meant ending her 7.5-year relationship with Bogdanovich and returning home to Memphis. In 1978, she married local auto parts salesman David Ford. 5 years later, she divorced Ford and returned to Hollywood with their daughter Clementine. Sybil says climbing back up the ladder of success was a struggle, and that even a hit TV series hasn't made her life any easier.
David Addison, get me!
Last year almost killed me.
Why?
It was the first year of film episodic, and the hours were incredibly long, and it's just such a hard job. It's a wonderful job, and I love it. I'm cut out for it, to do it. And there was a great challenge, but it still almost killed me. I mean, there was a lot of times I just didn't know what I was going to do to make it through the day or another week, you know.
If you could do anything over, is there anything you'd change?
Every part I ever played.
Really?
Honestly. Well, I always look at these films. We'll take Daisy Miller. That was made in 1974. No, 73. And I looked at it just recently, and I saw the moments that were in and good. And I saw these moments, I go, oh, I know how to do that now. You know, of course, I'm a little too old to play the part. But that's okay, because I want to play parts that help me with my life. I want to play what I haven't lived.
And that's exactly what Sybil is doing now.
I must admit, I was one of those people who was very doubtful about Sybil Shepherd's ability to act. I remember some of her bad movies, but I have been proved wrong watching Moonlighting over the past couple of years.
She's a very interesting lady to hear.
She really is.
Well, right now we're here in the studio of WBEL. This is an actual working network. It's broadcast throughout the entire elementary school here. Different topics such as school activities, what's on the lunch menu, and birthdays are announced every Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning.
When we come back, you have to be adventurous if you want to eat in Hong Kong.
Hello, I'm the Lottery
Who said that?
People all over Ohio are discovering Lottery Exchange.
Is somebody in there?
It's easy to play. Just put in your money and touch the screen to choose your game. Make your bet and pick your numbers. Or use Auto Lotto. Make a mistake and you can start over. Then Lottery Exchange prints out your ticket.
Somebody's in there. Hey, you can tell me. How'd you get him in there?
Lottery Exchange. When you see one, have some fun.
Have you ever been frustrated because the Noid ruined your pizza? The Noid loves to ruin pizza. Call Domino's Pizza. We avoid the Noid. the Noid out and all this quality in. Taste the quality. Domino's Pizza delivers in less than 30 minutes.
The top of your TV should be more than just a shelf for your VCR, so Zenith designed a slim, new midsize that does just about everything but take up space. Zenith. Quality.
Available at Moyer's TV, Wilsey. Stowers & Son, Alcohol. And Sedero's Electronic Sales, Charleston.
At 11 on News Center 3 tonight. One of America's most respected journalists is in Rio Grande, Ohio tonight. News Center 3 will cover the story. And more sentencings today in Huntington involving the Kermit drug operation.
And I'm Barry Pintar in Charleston. The trial of Moundsville inmates charged with New Year's Day riot crimes has been moved. And getting your tax returns in on time. All this and more ahead on News Center 3 tonight.
There's a high in St. Albans of 60 degrees. Huntington, there's a high of 65 degrees and a nitro of 78 degrees. There's a 50% chance of rain in Martinsburg. The clouds are moving through Morgantown with a 45% chance of rain and a 35% chance of rain in Fairmont. It ought to be a nice day today.
This very professional weathercast was reported by Lisa Keynes. Now, in addition to doing local reports like what's for lunch or whose birthday it is, the students also do the kinds of stories that you would see in a regularly scheduled newscast, like right here on WSAZ Television 3. Lisa, very good work with the weather, I must say.
That was very impressive.
Hong Kong is one of the most fascinating places on Earth. There are 5 million people in this British colony and 19,000 restaurants.
And with 19,000 restaurants, eating is a real adventure. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting, and sometimes it's better not to ask.
From its streets to its finest restaurants, Hong Kong has become the crossroads of great Chinese cuisine.
The array of food eaten in Hong Kong is often astonishing to Western palates. Snake meat is a popular treat, and the reptile's bile is brewed into a tonic wine. Frogs' bladders are a banquet delicacy, and the arrival of hairy crabs from Shanghai creates a taste sensation every autumn.
What we consider to be exotic or even outrageous is part of a Chinese culinary history that dates back over 5,000 years.
On the first appearance, for the foreigners, they might say yuck, but it's still the Chinese traditional cooking, the preparation that goes into it, that really counts, and he hopes that they will appreciate it at the end.
Chef Ho Po Wing, a Platinum Award winner at the most recent Hong Kong Food Festival, will guide us through an eating adventure of exotic Cantonese specialties.
If the ancient Chinese saying, "We are what we eat," is true, then our food has to be as fresh as possible. Chef Wing's shopping list for our feast will also take into account the proper balance of yin and yang, the opposing elements of ancient Chinese philosophy associated with health and contentment.
It looks like we'll be dining on pigeon, braised snapping turtle, and eel, in addition to some other gourmet delights.
It's back in his kitchen at the Sui Hong Village restaurant in Kowloon where the real magic begins. Shark's fin, garupa from the South China Sea, lotus root, and the ingredients from the market will be steamed, braised, and fried to create an 8-course meal fit for an emperor.
My guess is this is the turtle.
I think you're right there, Barry. This is a beautiful presentation by Chef Wing, but the question is, where do we start? With the shark fin, the pigeon, or the turtle?
Traditionally, you start with the shark fin with the crab claw.
Barry, the shark fin is interesting. I think you're going to like it. It's sort of like a crispy pasta, a crispy noodle,
And it almost tastes like a vegetable. See what you think. The flavor is really
They
interesting.
say it's supposed to make you alert.
I feel more aware already. More aware that I'm eating shark fin.
Yeah. That's good. It doesn't taste fishy at all.
This coarse berry, deep-fried pigeon. Did you notice the
presentation?
Pigeon? Yeah, the pigeon head on there. Actually, in traditional Chinese cooking, the entire bird is on a platter to ensure freshness. You're not getting frozen parts.
To be perfectly honest with you, I have never wanted to eat eel before. It's something psychological, but
Yeah.
you know, here, it seems like you got to give it a try.
You try it first.
Right.
Tell me how you like it. If you like it, I'll try it. Well, that's the verdict.
I like it.
It's good, really?
It's good.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
I don't like snakes.
I don't like the look at it, though.
I don't know about you, Barry, but this is the most exotic thing I have ever eaten in my life. The real delicacy, turtle.
I've never ordered a whole turtle before.
This is very strange to me. It really is to see the head up there, but it really is a delicacy. It's supposed to be very good for the circulation.
How is it?
Well, it's chewy.
Yeah.
So if I don't look at the turtle while I'm eating it, it's all right. Let's hear it. Tastes like a mussel, right? Very
Mushroom.
chewy mussel.
Like mushroom. Like a very chewy mushroom.
Chef Wing taught us that Westerners who may at first be reluctant to try exotic dishes which sound unappetizing may be pleasantly surprised by the taste. And perhaps in the future, more Americans will include in their diets frog bladders, shredded sea blubber, and duck's tongue.
Well, let's say you're over in Hong Kong and you don't acquire a taste for eel. Well, you can always run down to the corner. Chances are there'll either be a Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, Burger King, or Pizza Hut there. I guess I would choose the McNugget over a piece of eel any day. Anyway, tomorrow night we're going back to Hong Kong where we'll see the Sea Gypsies. We're here at WBEL in the studio, and what's your name?
Angie Beard.
Angie Beard, and what's your name?
Kevin Polly.
Kevin Polly. Well, let me start with you, Angie. Of all the people on television, who do you idolize the most? Who do you pattern yourself after as a journalistic person?
Jane Polly.
Jane Polly. Hey, I like Jane Polly, too. What about yourself?
Dan Rather.
Dan Rather. Now, why do you like Dan Rather?
Oh, he's a strict news reporter, and he's got the right qualities to be a news reporter. He's strict. He doesn't fool around. I mean, not that it's not that bad, but still. I'd say he does have the true qualities of being a news reporter, and if I ever was a news reporter when I grew up, I'd like to be just like him.
Well, I think that you're well on your way, no doubt. Coming up next on PM Magazine, we'll see some river rollers.
Gimme pizza that's extra quick with a French bread crust so crisp and thick.
French bread pizza was never like this. Introducing Pillsbury microwave French bread pizza.
Gotta have it now, gotta have it good. Gotta crunch the way a great pizza should.
Finally, a crispy microwave French bread pizza from Pillsbury.
When you want it now and you want it good.
The United Methodist Women of St. Paul United Methodist Church in South Charleston will hold their annual Fall Festival and Bazaar Friday, November 14th in the Fellowship Hall of the church. The Boyd County chapter of the American Red Cross will have a blood donor day at Ashland Oil Bell Fund from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Blood Center and area hospitals are making a plea for O-positive and O-negative blood. Give blood, give life. Be a donor. Free for All, a community events calendar, is a public service of WSAZ Television 3.
Now's the time to gather round. Let's go Kroger-ing.
Kroger is your holiday baking headquarters. You'll find a bountiful harvest of plump, juicy raisins, fresh walnuts, almonds, and pecans, plus an assortment of delicious dried fruit, all at cost-cutter prices so you can bake more for less.
Share the best of everything. Let's go Kroger-ing.
Now, McDonald's introduces something. McDonald's introduces
Toss me a salad, a crisp new taste. Toss it for me fresh all day. New McDonald's garden salad. This taste goes any place. It's a good time for the great taste. Like McDonald's.
I'd like you to meet the general manager of WBEL, and it is Mrs. McGraw, who's the student's teacher. This is a very fascinating operation, doing the whole local aspect of it, seen network-wide by the entire school on Monday afternoons and Tuesday mornings. What do the other kids think of your programs?
They're excited to see it. They like to watch it. They want to see their artwork, and they want to hear their name on the news each day. And they work toward getting awards and things so they can be on television.
I was amazed to watch some of the students, how comfortable they are on camera. Do you think anyone might evolve into a journalist or a newscaster in the future?
Yes, I think we have some potential newscasters or feature people right here at Bellville. They do a great job.
Well, at any rate, they're getting tremendous experience in this class. Thanks very much for inviting us down here.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming.
Now we're going to go to Marietta, Ohio, where sternwheelers gather once a year to recall the era when they ruled the Ohio River.
They cruise in from another time, churning up images of Mark Twain, banjo pickers, gamblers, and fancy women. Once the workhorse of America's rivers, stern wheel boats nearly paddled into extinction as we invented faster ways to move goods and people. The golden age of stern wheelers ended long ago, but one thing hasn't changed. When the whistle sounds, everyone comes to the river. More than a dozen paddle wheel boats have gathered at the Marietta Stern Wheel Festival. Many have traveled great distances on the Mississippi and Ohio rivers to be here. No quick trips when top speeds reach a pulse-quickening 12 miles an hour. But speed doesn't count for much with these river captains.
And when you get on one of these boats, you can sit back and relax. The only thing you hear is the swoosh of the wheel through the water.
Some of the river rollers are hobbyists. For others, stern wheeling is an obsession. The Dixie is Captain Jan DiCarlo's $500,000 paddle wheel palace. There are only a few vintage stern wheelers like this left. The Dixie was built in the 30s as a towboat, and Jan has painstakingly refurbished every inch of her.
It's just a restoration of love. I'm on her most of the time. We don't go to the house very often.
Spending most of one's time on a riverboat sounds like a storybook existence, and is about half the time.
It's about 50% one way and 50% another, because you have to respect the river and you have to respect Mother Nature. You're not in control, she is.
The Claire E is much more than a vacation retreat. She's been home to Gene Fitch and his wife Claire for 16 years. They've logged 50,000 miles on their comfortable boat, and this kind of home offers some unusual advantages.
If you don't like the view out your window, you turn it around, and if the weather, if you don't like it, go on down where it's a little warmer. A friend of ours wrote that everybody has a neighborhood, but Gene and Claire's neighborhood is 4,000 miles long.
Gene echoes the feelings of other stern wheel captains when he refers to the Claire E as his boatload of dreams. They represent the hopes and dreams of their owners, these floating cakes, and their captains like to compare them to people.
As the old saying goes, they'll educate you. And every day you learn, and you'll do something with them today, and they won't do it tomorrow. And I always said, they're just like a woman, stubborn as hell.
Captain Pat Hankinson has lived on the Wild Goose for 6 years, and his devotion to stern wheeling is complete.
If I had to give up a stern wheeler, I'd quit boating. I like them that well.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know. They kind of grow on you. And a stern wheeler is altogether different than any other boat you'd ever be on.
The Wild Goose was built in 1926 to be a barge pusher, or packet. When Pat first laid eyes on her in 1979, she looked like this, a rusting ghost of the Ohio River. Pat rebuilt his Wild Goose from the deck up and moved in. He's always been drawn to the river and believes living on the water is best.
I'd say better, and price-wise, it's about the same. Of course, you don't have taxes to pay. And if you get mad at your neighbors, you leave.
Captain Pat and the others are together in a common cause to preserve a unique part of our history. Because of them, the waterways of America's heartland are again being stirred by the majestic boats that once ruled the rivers. While the sight of twin smokestacks coming round the bend no longer heralds the biggest event of the day, they do take us back to a slower, more gracious time. The beauty of the waterfall off a gleaming paddle wheel keeps the spirit of Old Man River alive for us all.
We've never been up to Marietta for that event, although we've been up there several times, but that looks like a great time, doesn't it?
You think about having a normal houseboat and then having a sternwheeler. I think that makes it just a little bit special. Did you notice a lot of those boats were boats that we had seen docked down at the levee, Charleston, during the sternwheel regatta?
I sure did.
Well, I think it's time to rejoin the news team on the set of WBEL TV News.
Thanks, Mike. Here's Leanne with some good news from WBEL. Next week is National Education Week, and it's a big celebration, so check with your teachers for more details. We will have more from Bellville Elementary after this commercial break.
We are not advocates. We are picture takers. But if you hold up that mirror and reflect what the real situation is to the people, they will make the right decision. They will demand the right course of action because people know what's right and what's wrong. We don't have to tell them. All we have to do is hold up that mirror and say, this is what it looks like. What do you think should be done?
Bob Brunner, Bob Smith, together, working for you.
You really want to appreciate the course difference. Less heavy, easy drinking. Try to spend some time doing this. Oh, yeah. Coors is the one.
How can we get Kraft Macaroni and Cheese to change their name to Kraft Cheese and Macaroni? If they won't change it, let's not eat it. But Katie, it's the cheesiest. Look at all that cheese. This is not going to be easy.
Kraft Macaroni and Cheese has more cheese than any other brand. That's why it tastes the best.
How about we start tomorrow? Yeah!
Kraft Cheese and Macaroni, the cheesiest.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Milk chocolate, so creamy. Blending Krispies, ooh, so dreamy. Gotta have it, it's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Scrumptious! Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Well, Leslie, this has really been fascinating watching these students at work.
It certainly has been, Michael. You know, if I...
Excuse me, this just in, a flash. WBEL TV urges you to watch all the correspondents filing these important reports and these important reporters. They are Angie, Lisa, Leanne, Clark, Sonia, Carissa, Jennifer, Kevin, and Shannon. What a team.
What a team, Michael, indeed. And coming up tomorrow night on PM Magazine, we're going to show you an important addition to our high-tech society.
The color is orange, but we call it the black box. Tomorrow on PM Magazine, an air crash detective shows us how this mysterious box can determine the cause of an airline disaster.
Then, each week, Robin Leach gives millions of television viewers a taste of the high life with a look at the homes and hideaways of the rich and famous. We'll turn the tables on Robin and take a look at the world's most famous people peeper.
And we'll continue our trip to Hong Kong aboard these floating homes that the Chinese call junks. That's all coming up tomorrow night on PM Magazine.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and thank you for choosing to spend part of your evening with us.
Good night, Liz.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, America.
at 11 on News Center 3 tonight.
One of America's most respected journalists is in riot.